Taking on the next chapter, then, here's the twist that is changing the entire conversation. Ladies and gentlemen, after months of intense confrontation, reports suggest that the United States may be considering limited sanction relief on Iranian oil export. That's shocking, right? That possibility alone, it tells you something very, very important. Economic pressure, it cut both ways. Now, for years, sanctions were one of Washington's most powerful tools against Tehran. The strategy was simple: isolate Iran financially, reduce oil revenue, and force political concessions. But you know what? Global energy markets today, they are extremely fragile. Shipping disruption in the Gulf. In fact, instability around the Strait of Hormuz, one of the most important waterway. Rising insurance cost for the tankers because of Strait of Hormuz and growing fear of supply interruptions. All of this, it creates a lot of pressure on oil market. And the world knows when oil markets become nervous, the consequences spread rapidly and globally. In the meantime, fuel prices will rise, inflation will increase, transport cost will go up, and food prices it eventually follow. And that is why a report about possible sanction easing, they are being taken very, very seriously. According to resources, well, back channel negotiations, including regional mediators, are intensifying very quietly behind the scenes. Iran reportedly wants full sanction removal. In the meantime, the US appears unwilling to go that far immediately. So, discussions may now focus on temporary or maybe limited relief mechanism, not full. And this is how modern geopolitical bargaining really works. A lot of pressure, a lot of negotiations, a lot of partial concession, and renewed pressure again. And you know what? Energy remains the center of everything because oil is not just fuel, oil is leverage, oil is diplomacy, oil is economic warfare, and sometimes oil becomes the deciding factor between escalation and compromise. In the meantime, the Trump administration has not really officially confirmed any major shift publicly, but even the discussion itself, it signals growing concern that prolonged instability in the Gulf, it may damage broader geopolitical or global economic interest. And tonight, markets are watching every single signal very, very closely. While we are talking about the oil market, let me give you another update about geopolitical events that will shock the entire oil market. Well, a massive explosion near Bab al Mandab Strait has once again reminded the entire world how fragile global shipping routes have really become. Well, this waterway, it may look really small on the map, but strategically it is one of the most important maritime corridor on the planet Earth. It connects the Red Sea to the global shipping lanes and plays a major role in transporting oil, commercial goods, and military traffic here. So, when reports emerged that a major blast near the area happened, it almost spread like a wildfire. Questions flooded social media. Was a vessel attacked? Was a warship targeted? Was it a sabotage, an accident, or perhaps a warning signal? Though, let me tell you that right now many details remain unclear and it is very hard to confirm all the details. But regional military alertness, it reportedly increased significantly afterwards, specifically among Iranian naval units that were monitoring activity across the Persian Gulf and surrounding route. That reaction, that tells you how intense the environment has really become. Basically, Iran is terrified. Today, even one unexplained explosion, it can trigger global concern because so many overlapping conflicts, they are already active simultaneously. The entire West Asia today, it looks like a room filled with gasoline fumes. One spark anywhere, it creates fear everywhere. And shipping lanes have become central to all this geopolitical struggle. In fact, the Houthis in Yemen, tension that is involving Iran, Western naval deployment is really security concern. All of these dynamics, it now intersect across the same maritime space. And that is why insurance premium for the ships, it have risen sharply in recent months. Shipping companies fear attacks, government fear blockade, energy market fear disruption. Because modern economies depend on uninterrupted maritime movement, right? And when those sea route they become unstable, the impact reaches the ordinary consumers around the globe very quickly. In fact, you will bear the cost of this explosion. The explosion near this particular strait is therefore not just a regional story. It is a reminder of how vulnerable global trade truly is during a geopolitical crisis.